Okay, welcome back to another GQ shed build episode. In this one, we are transforming the interior from a disgusting, quintessential, rotting, moldy GQ into something SEMA-worthy, into something worthy of my sweaty ass at least. It is 1,000% humidity here in the sunny coast, so don't mind me. It's gonna be a sweaty episode. It's gonna be a fun one though. We've got a stack of my mates coming by to help out. We've got Zach coming up who's gonna deliver some seats and help us with the trimming. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff back there. Stuff from car builders, stuff from Crows Customs, bits from Polaris. We've got goodies from Hurricane Fabrication, stuff from Patrol Apart. And just so that I can give you a little sneak peek, we've got stuff from Corby's Customs & Co. That's gonna be the start of our secret recipe today, some custom door cards. As soon as Zach arrives and the boys get here, we can dive into that thing. You can see it's still hovering. We're in between swapping out the suspension. Don't worry about that. Let's run you through exactly what we've got today. Okay, so there's no denying that the inside of GQs, they're pretty primitive and fairly disgusting. This particular one, I think has had some water in it at some point, so it's got a lot of sort of mildew and mold and just grossness. So hopefully today we're gonna be replacing that. A lot of the issues are in the seats and they're all going in the bin. We've also got some cool stuff to do with the dash. We've got some bits and pieces to do with the center console, hopefully sound deaden the entire cab. It's gonna be a really cool day, I'm really excited. You know me, the 80 series behind us, that got the full treatment, custom interior and everything, and I wanted that to continue along in the GQ build. And finding the right combination of colors and seating choices for a GQ with this wrap and everything was tricky, but I think we've nailed it. So, once Zach gets here, we'll start pulling everything out. Hopefully the boys get here and they can help out with some of the more intricate bits and pieces, like pulling apart the dash. And we'll see what happens. I can hear a car actually. Could it be Zach? Maybe, maybe. It's our boy, Unique Marine and Auto Upholstery, Zach. Welcome to Sweaty Queensland. Okay, so the plan for today, folks, is gonna be a simple one. It is gonna be pull every single thing out of the inside of this. Zach is very familiar with patrols. He's cut his teeth on these things. Pull everything out, we'll get the rear seats out because Zach's gotta trim those while he's here. Obviously, he has brought up the front ones finished. They look fucking epic. I am sweating bullets. It is so warm in here. And then hopefully we can dive into the car builder's kit. Now, we've got a couple of different variations. This one down here is their stick-on sound deadener, like their just basic one. And then that, I believe, these big boxes are their, I guess it basically just, it goes in between the stick-on liner and then the factory carpet or vinyl flooring again. So it's double lined, I guess. One is gonna be for heat insulation and then they're both gonna act as acoustic barriers. So this thing being an old rattly car with a loud engine in it, probably a very good modification to do, I think. Plus gives us a chance to lift all the carpet out, take all the interior out, which we were pretty much gonna have to do anyway, and just assess in case there is any rust or any weird bits and pieces underneath the carpet that might have been hiding. Obviously being early 90s, these things do have habits of getting a little bit of a seedy past life. Very, very good. The car builder stuff also comes with everything you need. So you've got the roller for actually applying the stick-on stuff, aluminium tape for any joins, razor, blades and refills and stuff for the knife, and the, you know, the quintessential subby cooler. So very, very cool. The plan for today, everything out, sound deaden, seats back in, dash. We've got a Patrol Apart center console raised cover, which is going to be really nice as well. Hopefully get the doubled in head unit in from Polaris too. Door cards, make this thing just an absolute little weapon. What do you guys reckon? Did we nail it with the purple? You guys have probably seen the wrap. Like you can see here, just a couple of different angles. It's got a lot of purple in it. So we went with, off Zach's recommendation, purple logo, Sam Young 4x4, purple diamond stitching, and even purple accent stitching around the outside of the seats. The exact same as the Corby's Customs door cards too. So these are purple diamond stitching, and we've tried to maintain that sort of factory Nissan interior grey, but do all the exciting accents in black suede, which is super. Anyway, so this is what I was talking about with the kind of moldy interior, I guess, slightly moldy seats. Let me show you. It's going to be hard to see, but it's kind of got this mildew, sticky, moistury mold to it, especially on the back. You can easily see it there on the actual fabric side. And even the fronts are a little bit shit out. So one of the main reasons why we had to get the expert's help here, Zachy boy, was because we needed new seats, wanted Falcon seats. Obviously, most Falcon seats are absolutely trashed garbage by now, so we needed someone to upholster them. And there's no one better in the patrol interior game than our boy. So these are going to be so nice. And by replacing all the seats, it basically cuts out half of our moldy interior. The only other bits and pieces that are a little bit questionable are roof liner, which I'll show you in a second, and a couple of the seat belts. But, you know, it's fine. Any tips and tricks to reducing moldy interiors though? Other than don't sit it in a bog hole?
Throw it in the bin.
Yeah. I mean, the roof, what are your thoughts? Will you spraying it black at some point? Is that the go?
100%.
Yeah. I think in these, you've got to pull the glass out, don't you, to trim the roofs?
Yeah, glasses all got to come out.
Not worth it.
So, bit of a scrub and rattle cans. All good.
I am an expert at rattle canning everything, so that works for me. We've finally found some quintessential patrol goodness in the car. Whilst this was an immaculate car, I knew that we would find some GQ sludge, and look at this. Ugh. Ugh. What? Yuck. No, it's yucky. Very gross. Anyway, quickly, while we're mucking around, this center console is one of the things that we are changing. So on this particular GQ, the center console lid, the actual clip was broken and it was garbage. So Patroller Part 2 of these, which is a really cool little mod, fucking pick it up, which is a raised center console lid. So direct replacement, has the clip, and it's that little bit higher than that factory one. So for taller people, you can actually have somewhere to rest your arms. So that's kind of nice. So we'll quickly swap that over now before we put the whole thing back in the car at the end of today. Okay, executive decision has been made to do some carpet trimming in the GQ. We're not going to bother sound deadening under where the drawers are, mostly because time and energy, and the fact that, like, is it really going to make that much of a difference having just that back section? Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. The carpet, however, is heavily sandwiched and bolted under those drawers, so Zachy boy is just running a little nice cut along the back section of the drawers there so we can peel the carpet up and get in here and sound deaden the main cabin space, I guess. So we're going to be doing the front and second row seating section, as well as the doors and a little bit of the firewall and around the tunnel and stuff. I think that's going to be the most major difference possible. We're trying to keep a little bit of sound out of the cab, obviously, but mostly heat, I think. So by doing the sections where the gearbox is, the dump pipe runs, the engine is, and that sort of thing, I think will make a massive difference. So yeah, that's the plan. And so far, to both our surprise, no rust. Crazy. Actually surprisingly clean. So, much like any sort of full drive related accessory fitting job, it seems that the work is all in the prep. So
we've stripped everything down. We have just vacuumed out the interior, got all the old underliner and factory sound deadening out of the car. And it looks actually really, really tidy. There's like no rust or anything gross in here actually, which is so shocking. I think we're going to start by doing the doors. They're going to be the trickiest, only because it's just, I mean, the rears are okay. The rears are okay because there's a bit of access, but the fronts, it's very hard to get your hands up in there. So that's fine, you know, we love that. And then we'll do the cab. We can start putting the interior back together. And then maybe while Zach's here, we can have a look at that Crow Custom dash relocation. Now, I say dash relocation, it's not as crazy as it seems. In GQs, the head unit is down here, which is really difficult to use, especially if you put a double din in, because it's behind the shifters and you're looking at the floor while you're driving. The Crow's custom unit basically flips everything around. So the AC controls go down here and the head unit comes up here, and then the Polaris double din head unit will fit up there.
Also, a couple of nice little additions we bought since you would have last seen this car was this. With the dash mat in black, and we've also got these molded floor mats. So overall, the interior is going to be transformed today. Very, very keen. Max and Kaito here on their day off. Midweek day off.
Still work, man. Look at that little sway bit.
You know that immaculate GT clock that we spent ages trying to source? Want to grab it? Yeah. Oh,
Max, I can't put Max. Oh, Max.
Dan.
So, Max. You know how this clock, this GQ clock, was one of the only ones in the country still working?
Nick there's here about it.
Anyway, hope we don't need that. If you want to buy an immaculate condition working GQ clock, too bad. Anyway, update time. Zach is trimming the rear seats because we did buy some down in Sydney and they were shit. So anyway, he's got the covers all upholstered. We're just gonna put them on the rear seats of this car. Max and Clyde are in there currently dealing with the Crow's Customs dash relocation kit. So basically moving the head unit from down below up to above and then bring the AC controls down below, which makes it a whole lot more usable, which is really, really nice. The entire interior of the cab is sound deadened and all the doors are done, which has made a massive difference as well. That was definitely the hardest part of today, I reckon. So we are getting somewhere. It's all very good. Next up, I think before the interior can go back in, we've got that mass noise liner to put in from Car Builders, which is basically underlay for the carpet. Carpet in, seats in, bada bing, bada boom. Mwah. But this thing is absolutely looking fantastic. I can't wait to actually see the door cards on as well. It's going to look like a completely new vehicle. Super, super sick. If you take a look inside here, you'll see the dash is still in a million pieces, and we've got that mass noise liner laid out where it's going to go, and then underneath the carpet here is everything that we've already done. So it's all coming together. Zach over here is finalizing the last of the rear seats to match the fronts to put in. Nice, man. Okay, put simply, this is the most disgusting bunch of jobs you can do on a car. It is so hot and sweaty, sitting in the car. You don't get any airflow, it's gross. But anyway, let's quickly run you through where we are up to. It has been a massive afternoon. Max and Kite have just taken off. It's just Zach and I here to finish the task. So, in the car, we have got all of the mass noise liner in under all the carpet here. The rear carpet is in. If you come to the dash here, you can see we've got that Crow Customs relocation bracket, complete with me slicing myself open, but we've got the relocation bracket, which actually is really nice and tidy. You obviously have to delete a couple of different bits and pieces. We've lost our electronic aerial button. You ditch the clock, you ditch the ashtray, etc. But the end result is this super clean, really nice and tidy install. I think we might swap this head unit out for a one that's got the base, the ribbon, and then the big floating screen. It might be a little bit nicer, but at least this way we still have our top AC vents here, the controls down there, and a lot more functional than what it was. It's been a humongous day. These things don't come easily though. That's the issue. You got custom door cards, custom trimmed seats, custom dash inserts, doubled in head units, and the sound deadening. It is so labor intensive, and to do it right is really important, because you don't want to half-ass this, miss a step, and then have to pull your whole dash out of your whole interior out again, because that's a piss take. So we're pretty close now. Super keen. The really cool thing about this is we're using the Hurricane Fabrication seat rail adapters. So you maintain the factory GQ rails and therefore the factory seat functionality, but it adapts it legally to our Falcon seats, which is really nice. So from an engineering point of view, an engineer can just go, yep, sweet, Hurricane Fab rails, tick, tick, tick. Because we all know the GQ is all about legality. We've got that bus over there for illegal hood rat shit. This needs to be nice and above board. Okay, so the final piece of the long and arduous puzzle is fitting the seat rail adapters. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we have bought a set from the homies at Hurricane Fabrication, who we've used in that 80 series, my last 80 series. Pretty much any car I've ever put XR Falcon seats in has got a set of these rails. Now, it maintains the factory GQ front seat mechanisms and then just adapts them to these seats, and then they bolt straight in. You won't get to see it in this episode, but at some point in the future, we've actually got a set of Cap Industries fire extinguisher brackets as well, which bolt into the front seat bolts, because we got extinguishers to put in not just the 80 but also the GQ, the 79, and another project that you guys will not get to know about just yet. I think this is the most cost-effective sort of seat upgrade you can do for a patrol or for any sort of old four-wheel drive that doesn't really need airbags or matter about airbags and the laws and stuff associated to those. You can still pick these seats up from $200 to $400 for a pair, and then you can get someone like Zach to retrim them, fix the foams, etc. for a very cost-effective price, as opposed to buying something like a Recaro or a Shieldman or any of those crazy expensive seats, which can be upwards of $3 to $5 grand each. So yeah, and either way, you're going to have to engineer the seats, so you may as well just do something like this. They fit fantastically in all these sorts of old wagons too. And you can see how different ways you can trim them. In the 80 series, we trim them pretty plain, tan leather, bit of orange piping and stitching. Here we've gone the full hectic diamond stitched inserts and that sort of thing, a little bit more design input. So there's a lot of different things you can do with these old Falcon seats, that's for sure. And they should fit nicely. That race center console lid, I'm just looking at it now. That's a nice little upgrade too. Patroller part coming through with the goods. What a freaking day, dude. 6 o'clock, pretty much on the dot. We started at 8 a.m. So a cheeky 10 hours in the shed. And trust me, it feels like it when it's this hot and all you have is one little fan. That's fine. Absolutely massive thanks to Zach, Max, Kaido, all the boys that helped, all the brands that hooked this up too. What we achieved today is nothing short of epic. Sound deadened the entire car with that car builder's kit, including the doors. They sound so different to when we started today. We got the carpet back in, we got the XR Falcon seats in, we got the trimmed rear seats in. Obviously in the previous episode, you saw the Pirate Camco gear was in. We fitted up the Crow Customs bracket, the Polaris doubled in head unit. We've got our floor mats and our dash mat in. Oh, and our raised center console lid from Patrol Apart. That was absolutely epic. These seats are comfortable, more supportive, look way, way better, I think, and are readily available and very cost effective. And trimming the rear seats to match means this whole thing just sort of looks right. You know what I mean? Massive shout out to Zach, you absolutely nailed it. Also, of course, Corby's custom trims for the door cards. Almost forgot about him. He's a young little legend over in WA that does them remotely and then posts them to you no matter where you are in the world. So huge shout out to him as well for those door cards. They fitted up absolutely epically. Guys, if you'd like these shed episodes, make sure you like and subscribe and share this around. We are building the best GQ in Australia, whether you like it or not, folks. And I reckon that crown could be ours once we're done with this. In another episode coming very soon, you will see this thing get its full suspension and running gear overhaul. Cannot wait for that as well. And then, if I flip this camera around, now I'll just show you. Oh, a little TD on a stand over there, ready to drop in this thing very, very soon. But before we do that, I reckon we should blow this engine up. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, another huge episode. Love you guys. Love this car. Love the 80. Love everything. See you next Thursday.